Good evening and welcome to You Call That Radio TV. Tonight we're going to be joined by Partners in Rhyme, aka Mark Richardson and Rana Marathon. They've got a show at the Dundee Fringe. So we're going to be talking about that and a bunch of other things. Just before we start, obviously it's You Call That Radio, so there's no adverts. We don't do adverts. It's just powered by the patrons. But I wanted to just shout out our gig, Gyro Babies and Jinx Lennon in Derry on the 9th of November. And that's the last date of the Irish tour, just been announced today. That follows the Spirit Store in Dundalk on the Saturday the 8th. And before that, we started off in Dublin at the Thomas House on Friday the 7th. So Gyro Babies and Jinx Lennon on tour this November. So I just thought I'd mention that. Hopefully see you there. Mark Richardson's in the house.
Hello.
The Slam champion. You won You Call That Radio's Poet of the Universe. Best Poet in the Universe.
I did that, mate. I was really happy for that.
And ironically, you were in the final with our other guest, Rana Marathon, who is still running the marathon, but will be here very soon.
Yeah, well, she should be on time, but because I thought I might be a bit late, so I had a few things to do, but it turns out I'm on time and she's late, so it's true what they say about women. That I was late, mate.
No, I can't say anything. Timekeeping's not my special power, superpower. While we're waiting, Rana, how did we'll just talk about that, the championship, because obviously you went through to the Scottish Championship.
Yeah. And the Panopticon Theatre in Glasgow, so it was a great experience, mate. Yeah, so there was 10 poets, right? We all got to do two poems each. We got judged on each poem, right? And funnily enough, the first poem I done, the one about psoriasis, that actually got the best audience reaction from the whole night. See, like throughout, I got probably about the second best clap at the end, but actually throughout the poem, the audience were in stitches, and it was the most like audience interaction, like laughter throughout the whole night. Yeah, but so I think I scored third highest on that poem. So I was really confident. But then my next poem, it was the one about my neighbour. I don't know if I touched too much. It was a bit more brutal, sort of like maybe you touched on a few things, but that brought me. I didn't get as much. Like, I done okay, but that brought my score right. Well, not right down, but that brought my score down, and I never got into the final. But I was out of 10 poets. I came about halfway, so I was right, and I made my mark. Yeah, I left definitely. I made my mark, so I was quite happy. I didn't expect to win, to be honest with you, anyway. But like, I was after how well my first poem had done, that just gave us pure super confidence about anything, because I knew a real pure rocked audience said they loved it. So I was like buzzing. I was buzzing just from that performance alone for like a couple of weeks after, and then inspired us to write about another 3 poems, write performance pieces that I'm really happy with. So, because I was kind of going through a bit, like, yourself being a writer, like, sometimes you've got a few made pieces you'll perform, maybe 4 or 5 poems you really like, but after a while you start to get a bit sort of like bored of them yourself. Even if other people haven't heard them, you sort of get a bit monotonous in your own brain when you're saying them. So now I've got another 3 or 4 ones that I really like, that I've wrote in the last like 6-7 months, and that's since that slam. So I was definitely inspired. Yeah,
amazing, man. That's good stuff.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because you've got to get that little, because obviously when something's new, it's exciting, but it's difficult to remember. It's a bit. You can get a bit nervous because you're a bit over the place. You maybe don't know how it all works, and then there's that sort of sweet spot. Like, I've been feeling that just now with doing some of the new songs. Is that the muscle memory's kicking in?
Yeah.
But it's not completely there, so I can't think about what I'm having for my dinner yet. So it's quite a good space to be in, because you still got to memorise it, but it's all there. But then eventually you learn it too well, and you forget it gets boring after a while, I suppose.
Yeah, it does, because it's like my seagull poem. Like that sort of made loads of people do that like about 7 years ago. Was right. But I've said it that many times myself. Like, I actually said it last week in Perth, and it was quite, because there was a guy on before me at the open mic in Perth, Howell Pora. He done a poem about getting his steak baked stolen for a seagull. So I thought, fuck, I've got to do this poem after and dedicate it to him. And it was actually, I hadn't performed it for ages now. It was quite fresh. It went did well, and because I hadn't performed it for so long, I was actually enjoyed it. And then, yeah, so it was good. But but I know what you mean. It just gets a bit monotonous in your own head going over it.
I don't even know what I would do if I was doing a spoken word set. It's been a while since I've done one.
Yeah.
I would probably just be doing the same set for 7 years ago. I've not actually tried to turn it into a spoken word for a while.
You've got to think as well, like, obviously, not everyone's heard these poems, so to them, like, everyone, that Perth thing last week, like, half the people, like, most of the people there had never met before, so that's the first time they've heard that seagull poem, even though I've said it, like, 1,000 times in my head, and, like, the people that come to my gigs usually have heard it, but it wasn't a my gig, so it was a total fresh audience, so, yeah, it's good enough, but...
Well, speaking of Perth, Rana Marathon is in the house.
Oh, she's appeared there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Sorry, I'm running late. I got held up at the football. Not me playing football. The wee lad was playing football. So yeah, sorry. Radio football, more stuff.
It's okay. I believe that bad timekeeping is fine. I think it's okay.
Artistic license, like us, like she's an artist, so we'll let her off, Ken.
No, it's controversial. You know, it's controversial to say that bad timekeeping's okay. I know that. People always go, but I don't like being early. You know, I'd rather be late than early.
I like to be right on time.
I'm usually an early bird. I am pretty punctual.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, it's because I've travelled a lot and I've missed planes a few times and that, so now I like to really give myself 4 hours in advance. Not when I meet people, but when going on planes, Ken.
Well, we're talking about poems, actually. That was one of my early poems called Mr. Punctual, and it was me boasting about how on time I was. I can't remember exactly what it was. I am the greatest timekeeper, a rhyme speaker, he catches the bus early with a spare pair of sneakers. I don't know exactly how it went, but well, actually, that was a question I want to ask. What was your partners in rhyme? Dundee Fringe tomorrow. What is your... Can you remember your earliest rhyme? What was the first rhyme you came up with?
Probably something daft at school, but I honestly don't know. I was like, really, but I think the earliest, but I didn't even think of poems and that. Just stupid rhymes I made up in primary school and that, and maybe first year, but the actual first poem or rhyme I wrote, like when I started to write, no, can't really. I honestly can't really think of it. I mind how when I got into poetry, it was like in a house party one night, and it was that Groove Armada song was on. I feel good, I feel high. Sorry, and I just kept making up my own words to that, and that's how I got into rhyming. Sorry, and then I just started putting more thought in it. But I can't actually mind the rhymes.
I remember my first poem. I was in primary school. I think I was in primary 7. And I was staying with my dad at the time, and it was a poem about, oh, Daddy, won't you buy me a pair of Nike Air Max trainers? And it was in pure Scottish slang. And my dad was Turkish, so like he never spoke to me like that. And I remember my mum entered it in a poetry competition, and I won, but you had to pay all this money to see it being published in the book. And my mum was just like, oh, nah, that's a bloody can. We're not buying that. So I never ever got to see it.
I think I did a poem at school about an apple, and it wasn't my choice. I think we were told do a poem on a piece of fruit or a vegetable, and mine was called Mean Green Apple. I can't remember any of it, but I mean, I think it got published. You know, my first publishing gig, maybe like in a school newsletter or something. It wasn't a paid gig. I mean, I've been published a few times, never been paid for any of them either. No, but, published poet, but I'm a published poet, I suppose. But mostly underemployed poet. Colin Musters in the house. All right, lovely spending time on my way home from Wee Solarfest, enjoying the chat. Oh
yeah, John jumped in the car with us on the way back. Yeah. Mark was absolutely hanging. Mark, other Mark. There's 2 Marks here, so like, who am I going to? Mark. You must have been like death door on Monday.
I slept for like 20 minutes before I had to get up. I didn't even sleep. And mind, I thought the bottle of water was water, and it was straight vodka before I got on. But like 10 minutes later, I was no bad. I could do with more of that because it kicked in for the journey home, and it felt like pleasantly drunk again. So it was all right.
Wait, how much straight vodka did you accidentally drink before you noticed it was?
Well,
A
I took a big
mouthful of
gulp.
it.
I took it, like, opened the lid and it was like parched, so I just took a big gulp, and it was a fucking hell straight vodka, but it was a fair gulp. And I didn't think if I went back for a beer, I can't mind. Maybe,
It was like getting ready in the morning. We were pulling the tent down, and Mark just zips his tent, and he's like, "Oh, it's actually really that time that we're having to pack up now."
I could hear them for like 10, 15 minutes moving. The bit was like, hey, God, but I only went in my tent like an hour before, because it came on. There was stragglers, so we were just taking a blather in, and it came on pished the rain. So that's the only reason I went in my tent. It was already like 6:30, and we had to leave at like 8:30 or something. So I just lay staring at the top of the tent, like, basically.
As you do.
As you do, Ken. But it was a great festival. It was really enjoyable.
It was good, but the weather was great up until about
till the morning.
Well, it was around about the time that I was allowed to start enjoying myself. It just started raining. But that was about, I thought it was about 3 a.m. or something like that. And then it started raining, and then it did rain for a while. When everyone was leaving, it was raining, and then it got sunny again. So it was a bit more of a chat.
So what's happening? Is there going to be another festival next year, or did you save the hall?
We don't know. I mean, we're still in talks with every year there's always going to be some complaints, and it's up to me to try and address those complaints, and hopefully we can do it again next year.
What was the complaints this year, Mark?
It's not really I don't really want to go into that on a live stream, to be honest. But it happens. You've got to remember that we're in it's in a place where people are used to peace and tranquility. So you're always going to get some neighbours.
And then you've got folk like Mark Richardson coming along.
Yeah,
doing a cyclist poem.
Because there's loads of cyclists there.
No, but Mark was definitely the least of the problems. His name's not been mentioned in the committee's notice yet. But I mean, every year it's kind of. You've got to remember that 95% of Arran loves it, and it brings a lot of small percent. Yeah, it brings a lot of business to this island, and everybody's. It's not like a very young crowd. I mean, most people are kind of sort of middle-aged, I would say, but almost like 30 up, I would say, generally. So it's like everybody tidies up after themselves and behaves themselves, but it's one of those ones where some people don't like the boom boom music, and it happens. It's just stuff like that. But hopefully, I mean, we'll be doing something next year anyway, and hopefully it's back in the hall. But it might just be getting a wee bit too big for the hall as well, just with parking space and stuff like that. So it can be quite stressful just trying to get it. I think the problem is because people are getting older, they're more likely to have a van with a bed in it or something like that, or they had a van and now they're getting a big fancy camper van and. So parking space isn't ideal there, but it was a really good time, and Arran's a beautiful place. I always feel home there. It's beautiful.
That's stunning.
Jim, that was your first time there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loved Arran. Would love to go back. I will go back. I will go back.
Definitely. It's just somewhere. I might even go back. It's September. It's the season. It is the special season for Arran as well. Jim Warren says, my first rhyme was a bit of Musselburgh accent, but then some dafty for one and stole it.
Is that you that stole it, Mark?
A Musselburgh accent is a Musselburgh accent. No, I
think that rhyme. I remember you saying that.
Well, the thing is that people always look for a hidden meaning. Like when I did it in Musselburgh, I nearly get knocked out for it by saying a Musselburgh accent.
Did you steal his poem, Mark?
No, it's my poem. He's at the wind up, but it's just that what makes the rhyme good is that it rhymes in every accent. So
a Musselburgh accent is a Musselburgh accent. There you go.
It rhymes in Dundee. It rhymes in Dundee.
A Musselburgh accent is a Musselburgh accent. Tidy, I like it.
It rhymes in every accent. That's what makes it magic. There's not a hidden meaning. That's why it's the best rhyme I've ever written. It's just because it rhymes in every accent. We've got Shelto Mel in the house. What's up, mother and father funkers?
Hey, Mel.
Shouts to Mel, who's in the gym, rowing away.
She's been gymming it.
Shouts to Jim. I'm on the moon boot. I'm on the moon crocks.
So what are you?
I've got robo feet. So I can't.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm not to go to the gym. No, that was
Yeah.
no that I was going to the gym that much. But I did do January, February, and a bit of March in the gym before I hurt myself.
Oh
And
well, you could even go back. Something's going to be there, mate.
Yeah,
Not going anywhere.
Certainly not. But I did get the way I hurt myself was because I ended up just hitting a Forrest Gump mode where I was just running. I just kept on running, and I overdid it, man. But I just, you know, that way it was the mind over matter. I just went crazy. Well, ran a marathon. For anyone that doesn't know, is that your job? Is that what you actually do? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I just go around running everywhere. Like I'm going to be running to Dundee tomorrow for my gig.
Yeah.
That's a sports coach here. Is it sports therapy? Yeah.
Sports therapy, yeah.
So there you go. If you get an injury, well, if it doesn't heal, go to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you got any advice for me? So I've got a fractured metatarsal or something.
Yeah. Well,
so I've been able to just
resting it just now. You've obviously got it.
You don't need to tell me twice. I've been sitting. Nobody went like, you're just going to need to rest. So I've just been sitting in my arse, getting fat and sassy.
Rest it. Get some heat on it. That'll help to promote the healing.
Get a lighter under it. Light some heat on it. Just a lighter.
and cold. That's what I've been told.
No,
facts. No.
The cold is only for pain. The cold is only for an analgesic effect.
Right.
The heat will help to bring blood to the area and will help to promote recovery and promote the healing.
Interesting. Okay. Yes. The pain's not been bad. You know, like I played the last time I've probably went out properly was the Barras gig last week, and because I was on my feet for most of the day, I had to take painkillers the next day. Strong painkillers.
How did that go? The
gig was great. It went well, man. It went well. I can't complain. But obviously I didn't take any painkillers because I was wanting to have a wee drink after I played, so I didn't want to mix it. Obviously, so I was quite sore, like doing the sound check and hanging about waiting. But yeah, no, the adrenaline kicked in and a couple of beers, and I didn't feel a thing until the next day.
Yeah.
So I've been behaving myself. I've not really done anything. I've been sitting about, missing out in the sunshine and all of that. So it's been a bit shite missing the last bit of the summer. But I haven't done it. It's next week. It's the big test. I'm going to play Equinox Festival, and I'm supposed to be going to Ireland before it. And I don't know
God, Mark, how are you going to get about? Get yourself a wee mobility scooter.
I don't know. That is a question. Maybe I can't go to Ireland. I'd be gutted if I can't. But I need to do the gig. Otherwise, I'm just letting down everybody who's already planned to go.
You just need to accept the fact that if you go and do the gig and go and do all these things, that your healing time is probably going to be longer than what it would be if you weren't doing anything.
Well, they said 6 to 8 weeks, and I went, "Wait, did you just say 6 to 8 weeks?" And they went, "No, 6 to 8. 6 to 8. 6 to 8. That's quite.
That's like 50 months.
It's very accurate. 6 to 8. No, 6 to 8. So, as far as I'm aware, I've been on the moon crocks, the robo foot for about.
You on crutches as well?
No, crutches were shite. Hated them. The moon rockets. Oh, I need my moon crocs. Just walking about. Fine.
Avoiding the moonwalk.
Doing the moonwalk. Avoiding the pavement potholes.
The moon hop. There's only one. The moon hop.
Yeah, I'm just avoiding the potholes.
Mark McGee's moon bop. New TikTok sensation.
A Vossy bop. So get Dundee Fringe. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the Dundee Fringe. Says Joe Ailes poetry. Joe Seale.
Get to the Dundee Fringe tomorrow. Yes, Joe. We will see you there tomorrow.
Tell us about the show. Hold on. I need to change the brightness. I've got some kind of timer on my computer that's made it go red because it's for darkness. Hold on. Let me change it. This is freaking me out. Hold on.
So yeah, our show tomorrow is going to be basically like a tag team. So it's going to be, imagine like a wrestling ring, and me and Mark are on each corner, and then we just meet in the middle and do a blow each.
That's lies. There's no violence. Maybe lyrical violence, but no like physical violence. Okay. So Partners on Ride tomorrow, 8:20 p.m. But it's like so I was speaking to someone the other night, and I was trying to describe it, and it says tag team. He was like table tennis. It goes, yeah, that's more what it's like. Eddie a poem, Rana does a poem. She does like back forward. You know what I mean? So it's like
because when we first performed together, when we were supporting Loki, Darren McGarvey, and we were like, right, how are we going to do this? Like, we're both going to be on the stage, and I was like, well, we'll just tag team it. Like, I'll go, you go, I'll go, you go. No, and that's when we were calling ourselves the Tay Poets. Then, do you remember that, Mark?
Yeah, we just a spur of the moment because we just like I was supporting them. We'd decided Rana would jump up and just would do like it'd be to showcase both were, you know what I mean? But we didn't really know how to go about it. I think it was just that night we decided like,
we would just tag team it
because we're afraid of it. Like
it's a good way. It's a good way to do it. Like we did that at the album launch for the Scheme Hing Cypher, because it was just like the format. It was my idea for the format of just doing like a song each, and in that way you've got like maybe 4 or 5 rappers that are doing a couple of songs each, or maybe 2 or 3 songs each. But it's a format I've always liked over the years, because there's something quite good about doing your poem and then getting a chance to sit back and watch someone else smash it, and then you get to catch your breath and think about your first line and just
keeps it fresh for the audience as well.
Absolutely.
It's not too long as well, because like originally this time we were thinking we could maybe do like, instead of do a poem a piece, we could do like just cut it into 4 minutes. Like Rana would do 15 minutes. I would do 15. Then we kind of thought, well, you're sitting about, you start to get sort of after you start to feel a bit sort of, once you perform 15 minutes, like I like to do my set, then sit down and like chill out. But if it's just a poem, it's all right. But 15 minutes, then you start to sort of come down off a high. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still riding the adrenaline when you're just doing one each.
15 minutes, and you've came right down, and you've got to get so it's like. But I think it's
lost your mojo.
Yeah, sort of. But if I'm doing my own gig, like I do, one thing I did think I was a wee bit, I wasn't sure about doing a poem a piece, because sometimes I like, when I'm doing my own gig, right, say it's 20-minute gig, right, after like 2 or 3 poems, I feel I really go into the flow, because you're like first 2 warm up, 3, but I think for 2 on stage together, it works better just a poem a piece.
Yeah, we were down at the studios last week rehearsing, and we were like, nah, that's how it's going to roll.
Yeah, and like I think Rana, I'm not saying like Rana is watching Rana's performance, and that sort of inspires me to like that was brilliant. She's really, so I'm like, I've got to do as good, or like not I'll do each other, but we've just got to be up to scratch with each other. You know what I mean? So like we've got like the sort of just. Is
it just the 2 of you then for the full show?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And what is the Dundee Fringe? Because is this relatively new? I mean, I think I had it last year.
This is a fourth year, I think.
Sorry, right, okay.
But it's the first time I performed at it. Like, so I know, like, there's a monthly poetry night in Dundee called Blether for like a lassie Taylor that I know. She's like the Scots Screever sort of, so she's involved with loads of stuff. But the people who do the sound and the lighting and that for her gig, that's the people who organise the Dundee Fringe. So over the last year or so, I've got to know them. So I thought I was going to get away without I thought they would just get us on without having to apply for it, but we still had to go through the usual stuff. But so I think that it's on from the tomorrow, which is the 12th till the 22nd, so it's 10 days.
It's 10 days, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like 100 shows on, like music, poetry, some comedy, like there's loads of stuff. It's like people, these people who organise it, they're called like sweet venues, and they do the. Have you heard of the Brighton Fringe? Have you not been there?
I've been at the Brighton Fringe.
They're involved with the Brighton Fringe as well, and some other couple others. So it's the same people who do the Dundee Fringe, sweet venues. I don't know if you've heard of them, sweet venues. And there's another.
I don't recognise sweet venues,
but
I went in to do but it was Poets versus Rappers night.
Yeah, I remember that's when the first. I think when I first kind of like got like met you and got in tow with like your creative like stuff, and I might seen a video you did in Brighton in the street. Yeah, I mind that. I definitely remember
that's right. Yeah, they've kind of threw me.
It must have been like 7 years ago. It's 2008.
I went 2 years in a row, but I remember they kind of threw what you're talking about, doing the losing your mojo, doing 2 gigs in the same day. I was kind of hyping myself up for this Poets versus Rappers thing. I think there's stuff on YouTube, and then they said, "Oh, we're going to do some street poetry. We're going to busk or something," and I wasn't really up for it. But I ended up being going quite well. But I was pure. The adrenaline was pure because I wasn't used to just doing poems in the street. But it went really well, and then I was like pure buzzing, and then I had 5 hours till the next show, so it kind of my energy dipped. But
came dead.
Brighton's a great place. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's quite expensive, I think, to live there, but it's where a lot of really, I know some creative people who just retired there. Well, not retired, but they just had to get out of London because you're only half an hour on the train for London.
Really, yeah.
It's good. It's a good place. So the venue itself, what's that about? I don't recognise that. I'm not a Dundee expert.
The Keeler Centre is it's a Dundee institution, right? Originally, I think it was a sweets factory. Like my granny actually, just before the war, the First World War, she worked in the sweet factory where it stood. I think there was another one in another area of Dundee, but in the 60s, 70s, it became like a shopping centre, right? But you see, even 20 years ago, it was really run down shopping centre. It was am I still on? Yeah. It's disappeared. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
You said like you were in a story, so full screen for the story.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So right. So the Keeler Centre in Dundee, I think it became a shopping centre in the 70s, but obviously when I was a teenager in the 90s, it sort of it was really run down, and it was there was pet shops in it, so I had to smell a pet shop for it. There was loads of wee just markets and that, but it was cool. It was
and there was a bar in it as well, Mark, was there not?
Yeah, the Art of Barcelona outside, but there was it was like an Eastern Bloc type sort of place, low ceiling sort of wee units, but there was bong shops, and you got your old Bob Marley stuff, so we used to go there and get our skins and bongs when we were 14, and then you got Legal Highs and all that kind of stuff. So that was how I remember it basically. But it was a real working class shopping centre, and now obviously it's just, in the last maybe about 5 years ago, it was basically just a few wee shops like an army where they sold surplus army stuff, a couple of wee just really run down shops. But now there's no shops left in it now, but it's been took over for the Dundee. I couldn't know exactly who took over, but Catherine Rana, she's the manageress, but it's been turned into an artistic hub in Dundee. So there's so many units used for artistic, just creative stuff, and then they have
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. It's
you've done a couple of gigs in there, Mark.
Yeah, it's you go back in time when you go into the 70s when you go in there, it's sold shopping centre, and it's really, but they do loads of but I think it's under threat that might have getting knocked down. That's going to be getting redeveloped in the next few years, and loads of houses built. Well, hopefully they can keep some kind of creative space there, but it's a Dundee institution. But I had a bad, people would say, oh, they're the Keeler Centre, it's full of minx and that, but it's got character, it's really cool. So it's used now for all the creative sort of stuff in Dundee, real grassroots stuff, Okay.
Amazing.
So we'll get some pictures tomorrow on that and videos.
Amazing. And how did Partners in Rhyme start? Are you doing it? Do you kind of do it one gig in Dundee and one gig in Perth? Do you have a sort of setup, or you just go on with the flow?
We've just been doing quarterly gigs in Perth just now, haven't we? Yeah, but we've got an up and coming one going to be coming up in Montrose. Yeah. I think it's Mo Fidelity Records, it's called.
Yeah, the Rag and Bone man. He's organised it for us. Lou.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Lou's amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to go do something through there to check out the poetry scene in Montrose.
We played Montrose before. We had a good night in
there.
I like
Montrose. I like it.
At the Star Hotel, off the top of my head, I think it was something like the Star Hotel. I might be wrong, but it was an old air punk thing that we played that. But yeah, Lou's amazing, and it's amazing that he's got Lou to do poetry. I'd never seen him do that.
Oh, he was brilliant, Mark, wasn't he?
Yeah, he went down well.
He went down really well, and he was totally buzzing for it afterwards.
Yeah. But obviously he's got he's used to performing, so he was even though it's his first time doing poetry, he's used to being up in front of people. So
yeah,
I mean, he took that like a duck like water, you know what I mean? He was really confident. You'd think he'd been doing it he has been performing for fuck knows how long, but just doing the spoken word with the music, he went. He was really. He's obviously got that performing. He's a performer, right? At the end of the day, so it was just he stepped in there, but he took to it like a duck to water, But yeah. So yeah, he's a good guy. I've known him for a good few years. Actually, probably through your gigs and gigs in Dundee, but not well. But the first time I spotted him really was at the Solar Fest, and then he came out with a gig after that, so it was good. But
yeah, he did. I've known him since about 2010, I think, or 2011.
Yeah.
He used to be in a band called Ghosts of Progress. They were a two-piece, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but he just said he was never playing. He just he made his own contraption. He made his own drum kit.
Yeah,
and he just started.
That's the drummer and made his own.
I think something like that. I think there was two guitars. I can't remember exactly. I thought they both played guitar, but I'm not sure how it worked. But yeah, he just. I think he just went, I'm done with bands, and I can understand it's like herding cats. You know what I mean? Being in a band.
Yeah.
It's
hard to get everybody together all the time, and that's, I suppose, like how me and Mark have sort of come together. Like if Mark ever asks me to be at a gig, or if I ever ask Mark to be at a gig, or like asking him to support me or anything, vice versa, like I always know Mark is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Always know Mark is reliable, and the same vice versa. You ask me to be at any of your gigs, like
unless it's really like, if it's I'm going to be somewhere like through Hill and High, well, like unless I'm really, really like Noel or something like happens, like I'll be there. I didn't like letting, once I say someone will do something like
yeah, I cancelled my first ever gig last week.
You're the same, Mark, you know what I mean? You never cancelled
a gig in about 17 years until last week or the week before. I had to cancel Solfest for Jackal Trades because it was just, I know the festival's very uneven, and I thought I was going to be all right for it, and then I walked to my mate's house, and it was like there was an uneven pavement, and I felt like I got stabbed in the foot. It was sore, so I just did the right thing. But yeah, I think I feel enough to do Equinox next week, and it's I remember it being fairly flat. I might be wrong actually. I don't think it's that flat, but I could just stick to the main stage. There's a bar stage and the solar stage. So if I just stick to the three and avoid the techno hill and the drum and bass dungeons, then I should be all right.
Yeah, because when you hear that music, I mean, you can what's like when you hear that music and you're a bit drunk or whatever, and you start getting the foot tap, and then you could be a blaster, right? Next minute you're up jumping about, and next minute you're in hospital. Could go. It's hard to sort of like suppress that once you start getting that frame of mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, just be careful, mate.
Last year I had an abscess at Equinox, and this year I'm bringing the robo.
You don't have much luck, you mate. You don't have much luck.
No, I know, and it's a long drive away. Actually, if anyone, I've got a couple of free tickets to give away for Equinox. If anybody fancies a trip to Lincolnshire next weekend, I think I've got 2 left. So I'm going to put a wee message to the patrons, or give me a message if he's fancy it. And do you know what I've got as well to do? Because obviously it's obviously social media is a bin fire today because everything happened yesterday, and it's also September the 11th, and I'm thinking, I wonder what Facebook would have been like if the twin towers had fell while we were on Facebook and Twitter. What would that be like?
2001,
2001. And imagine what Facebook and Twitter. What would
24 years ago?
That's September 11th day. Is that the day?
That's just 9/11. It's 9/11.
Oh yeah, 9/11.
So it is, yeah.
I see the post earlier. Actually.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to really go into the news stuff because it's a breaking. It's not a breaking news story.
Yeah, I can't really bear speaking about it.
I was like, I need to bite my lip. I need to bite my lip because there's no suspect. There's nothing. So, but then I was thinking that I have actually literally bit my lip. At some point, about a week or two ago, I bit my lip. And you ever had this happen to you before? It just kind of swells up, and then that means you bite it again.
And
like
you can't help chewing
it. It's a vicious cycle. So yeah, it's
like when you get a really bad ulcer, like right on the inside of your mouth, and you just keep catching it and keep catching it.
You're stuck forever.
You're stuck.
It feels like I'm stuck forever. When I'm eating, I just need to pay attention.
You'll be getting that. Well, you've been running around like Forrest Gump. You'll have that Bubba lip. Again, Bubba.
Boys, getting there. I just kept on running. I know everything there is to know about the shrimp business.
I know. Do you know what? I watched Forrest Gump. It's funny we're talking about Forrest Gump. Watched it 2 weeks ago with the wee lad, and I was like, I actually forgot how much of a storyline was in Forrest Gump. I just thought he was just running around. It was quite emotional. It was really emotional, actually. And like he's got Elvis Presley there in his bedroom learning, and like he taught him how to dance.
Spoiler alert, are we allowed to talk about Forrest Gump as enough time passed?
I don't know.
Right, well, if you haven't watched Forrest Gump, then look away now. Because, I think it's okay to talk about Forrest Gump. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why? What happened?
What, do you want me to just spoil the ending? No, I'm not spoiling the ending. It's like people always try and tell me to watch The Matrix, but people should watch Forrest Gump. He had a very interesting life. In the modern
you mean like what? Yeah. We can talk about the ending of Forrest Gump now. Jesus, that was about 20 odd years ago that was out.
It's been a long time.
It's the same as The Matrix. If people try and give me spoiler alerts, and I've never seen The Matrix, and I don't want people to spoil it for me. So let's not talk about classic films. I think that you should get. I think 30 years you get before it's a spoiler. Is The Matrix 30 years old yet? Maybe I'll need to watch it.
Matrix must be like that. Definitely. I don't know. Actually, maybe about 25.
25. It's night. I've got 4 years to watch The Matrix. Then you've
got 4 years to watch it. What's holding you back, Mark?
I've just been busy. I've been pretty busy for the last 24 years. You know what I mean? It's quite a busy life. I had another question for you as well. What was it? So who was? Yeah, obviously we jokingly said or you call it Radio Slam. Well, not jokingly, it's true. The best poet in the universe competition, which you won gold, you won silver. But who is actually the best poet in the universe in your opinion?
What performance poet?
You decide.
Well, I don't know. My favourite poet to watch is John Cooper Clarke. Just his delivery, and Rana actually supported him in Dundee, which is it was like it was But he's my favourite, just the style and delivery, But pretty much, I don't watch loads of poetry and that.
My favourite poet is in the whole entire universe is you, Mark Richardson.
Really?
Hands down.
Oh, right, okay,
you are my favourite.
Really?
So, and who's your favourite fellow partner in rhyme?
Rana. Well, after JCT, my favourite is Rana, yeah. And then,
What was it like supporting John Cooper Clarke, the legendary John Cooper Clarke?
It was brilliant. That's like the biggest crowd I think I've ever had. Yeah, definitely the biggest crowd I've ever had.
And Dundee too, and she got she's from Perth and she got to support him. I was happy for her, but I was a wee bit jealous. But I'm over it now.
That's good. It sounds like you're over it. Sounds like I don't think you're completely over it, but it sounds like you're a wee bit raging.
Yeah, I'm not over it. I'll never be over it. I'm joking. It was really hard for her.
Keep your enemies close.
I supported John Cooper Clarke Eden Festival. No, I didn't support him. He supported me. I had to go on and do a poetry set after him. Absolutely worst gig. Well, not the what? Yeah, one of the worst gigs I've ever played. I mean, it's still good to be on a bill with John Cooper Clarke. So I think I said to the guy, the organizer, I'm not sure. I feel like Stephen Watt might have been involved, or it was the
Stephen Watt. I met Stephen Watt and. What's Catherine? Catherine's? What's it called?
C. Smith. Yeah.
Flourish. Yeah. See, at Flourish, I met Stephen Watt there because he actually. Yeah. Well, I didn't because he found out he didn't know I was in the crowd. And when the names got read out, he goes, "Oh, it's Mark Richardson here," and he turned and goes, "Oh no, I can't believe him on up after Mark Richardson." I didn't even know knew that he knew me because I knew he's quite well established. So it was wasn't that he knew who it was and that. I was just like
earlier this year. I've not actually seen him. I've not seen him for a while, but he's a really nice guy. He's really nice. Yeah, he's always been involved since I can remember in the scene.
But he shared stuff about our gig and that to poetry. He shared a couple of things about us. He's one of these guys who just supports he's everyone is does loads of stuff for other poets. He's
quite locked into. Books and magazines and bursaries and he's in the scene and he shares it. He always shares it on the spoken word page. I think it's called the Scottish Poetry and Spoken Word. It used to be Glasgow, but I think it's Scotland. And yeah, just like, so when he sees an opportunity, he just offers it to everybody. So yeah, shouts to Stephen, good guy. But yeah, I feel like he was something to do. Maybe I think he's just maybe friends with Rabbie's Tavern. I'm not sure. But I said, when do you want to go on? And I said, well, as late as you can, thinking, I want to be on before John Cooper Clarke or something.
Yeah. Well, it was after him, man.
Oh, I was after him. I died.
Yeah.
I totally died. Because obviously everybody went in to watch John Cooper Clarke. Everybody's having... John Cooper Clarke, people don't realise it. Don't watch him on the telly. Go and watch him live. When he's getting on a bit now, go and watch him live. You just laugh all the way through it. He's a complete comedian. So funny.
Yeah, he's some character. He's got some presence about him.
And then everybody's obviously, because these are people that don't watch poetry, but they're there for John Cooper Clarke. And then all of a sudden, I go on. I couldn't quieten them. They were all just talking, and I just couldn't. It was a bit of a disaster. But I met him. I got to meet him. I got to meet him though, and that was. I got him to. I've not got it to hand, but I did get him to say, "You call that radio? That's a great name for a podcast." That.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I've got a wee.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I used it quite a lot in the early days because I think that was when the podcast just started. Yeah. But yeah, shout out John Cooper Clarke. Is there anyone else, Rana, that you like or you take inspiration from apart from Mark and apart from JCC, or is there anyone maybe coming up that because obviously I'm a wee bit out the loop with the what's happening, especially Perth and Dundee.
Got a mutual friend too, Chris Mallis. He's really good.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah. Chris is brilliant. Victoria McNulty, she inspires me. Super. Not seen her perform since before COVID.
But yeah, like loads of people in the Glasgow scene like C. Smith. Yeah. I found one of a couple of her books. I was doing my mum's. I bought her books like about 2018 at some gig, 2 of her books, and I was saying my mum and dad's at that time for a wee bit, and I was just doing there last week, and I was looking through my old books, and I found these 2 books of Catherine's, and I was reading them, and I was just speaking to her online the other week, kind of about when her next open mic gig is, and I was telling her I found her books and that, and because I had read them before, but I was so long going that that's the time I probably got into them. They're really good, so. I was quite inspired about. I like reading about Glasgow. So my dad's Glaswegian, so I like I've got connections to Glasgow, so I love reading about Glasgow and that as well.
Do you know who else I actually love doing spoken word? Is Shelto Mel.
Yes, absolutely.
Shelto Mel, she is just brilliant.
Shelto Mel is brilliant. This is killing her. She just said, my arse is killing me from that rowing machine, Mark. You should take up robotics. I will. She could maybe teach me some, I was going to say the robot dance, but it's popping and locking or something. Sorry if I get it wrong. I'm not totally up. Hayden says, plus for Victoria McNulty. Definitely. Hopefully we'll see Mary Victoria McNulty soon. I've not seen her for a while. And movie spoiler, Jim Monaghan. Oh no, I'm going to read it anyway. Oh, he's at it. It's fine. Movie spoiler. In the Sixth Sense, it's revealed that Bruce Willis's character is actually Kaiser Soze. So that's not a real spoiler. Don't worry about it. Watch the Sixth Sense.
Jim Monaghan, one of his poems I like. He speaks about Black Uhuru in one of his poems, a reggae band. I can't remember the name of the poem. It's about his birthday maybe, but I love the line about Black Uhuru because it was right into my roots reggae when I was a teenager. Got around that. I hadn't heard of many people into them. Back then, but I just always remember that line in his poem about Black Uhuru. So, Jim, if you're still listening, Black Uhuru are shit hot.
And let's not forget Biff. Biff came through to one of our gigs in Perth, and oh my God, you'd obviously seen him at the finals at the Scottish Champions. But his presence on stage is just amazing.
Yeah,
it's just completely different.
Mm-hmm. You like it, he just changes it. It's like
he's like the Joker. That's who he reminded me of. He's up there and then he's just and then I'm walking. And I'm like, this is brilliant. You're just mesmerised watching him.
Was Biff was that the correct decision for Biff to win?
He's the world champion,
world champion now, aye.
Yeah.
World champion. Brought it home to Scotland.
I'm really glad he won that the slam because obviously I didn't win it, but I met Biff before I went in with him and that because I've met him a few times, so I'm pals with him that way. But yeah, it was really good. He's like he went to, I think leading up to that slam, he went to every open mic basically in Scotland. He put so much effort into practice and that, and he appeared everywhere. Seen him in Dundee, seen him in Perth, seen him loads of places. And he just really, if anyone deserved to win it, he did. Yeah, and he just, yeah, it was brilliant. There was other good poets there as well. I really liked it, but I'm not being biased because he isn't Biff's a mate, but I just feel he deserved to win it. And so I was happy for him.
Jim Oren saying that thanks, Mark. It's called That Summer. I read it last week at the end of the Cursed album launch. So that's the poem you're talking about. And Jim's doing a thing next weekend. I think it's Firefly Festival in Maynave. I think it's Maynave. I think it's called Maynave. Am I pronouncing it right? But it's a really nice wee bit. I've been there before. It's kind of near Dumfries Galloway borders, I think, with Biss, who are great as well. So that'll be good. Yeah. And I love doing gigs with you two, Miss, coming up to Perth, says Shelto Mel. So what is
you need to come up and we'll get a workout together, Mel.
Yeah, come up in November. November 29th for the next Partners in Rhyme gig. So you should come to that.
No, it's the 28th, Mark. It's November the 28th.
Anyone, Jim Monahan, you're welcome to come as well if you want. But it's just to jump on the open mic. Just whatever. If you'd get like 10 minutes if you're and you're up for it. So like maybe 10. What you could whatever. If you want to do, we could maybe squeeze it to, I don't know, a wee 12, 13 minutes or something. But
and I think that's in general enough for any poet.
Really,
I think 15. Yeah. After 15, I'm not really, unless you've got a band behind you. And I just think, just change it. Time to change the station.
One thing, not this, right, this part of the Rhymes gig tomorrow, that's just me and Rana. This is like a special we're doing, but usually, so how our usual gigs work, like in Perth, I need to find a new venue in Dundee because I do like but I'm just looking for a space. But for a start, we decided not to do them every month because we can't be bothered with the hassle of organising, sharing. It gets too much
work.
For me, it's too stressful. So I can't be bothered coming to like once a month. So we thought maybe 4 or 5 times a year is like ample. It gives you fresh time to write new stuff, or so people don't hear the same poems so much. So we think like every 3 months is fine, and it's 3 months is nothing. And as you get to this age, 3 months goes like that. So what we do, so me and Rana will usually we'll take a half each, and we'll like open up and do maybe like 10 minutes, 3 or 4 poems. We'll do at the start, and then we'll get maybe 3 or 4 performers up for like in between 5 and 10 minutes each. Yeah, and then the second half, Rana will do it, or vice versa, and then another 4. So we don't have like just open mic. It's like you actually get to do like a set. You could do like a 10-minute set. So we try not to have too many people, but then if other people turn up, we do try to squeeze everyone in as well.
We make sure everybody can get a space. We make sure everybody can get a space.
Joe Social Seal Poetry says you didn't get a better night out in Perth than Partners Rhymes.
And Joe, he's new on the scene as well. He's brilliant. He's another Dundonian poet.
Yeah. I first met Joe in Dundee maybe about, I don't know, 2 years ago at a gig, and I've seen him, and I liked his stuff and that, and I liked a few poems I liked, and he was like really Dundonian and that, and like just the last 6 months, right, he's really, he was good to start with, but he's really improved his time and delivery and that, and like, so he's
all about the timing, isn't it? It's all about the timing. So if I was to do a spoken word set just now, I'd probably just do the same poems that I did pre-lockdown and all that.
Yeah.
And I've not done it since. It's probably a couple of years before that. Yeah. But I would be able to memorise the words because it's so ingrained in my brain. I'd probably memorise it. But it would be shite because it is all about the pause, isn't it? It's the pause and knowing when to pause. And then when people are laughing, just let them laugh or let them do their thing.
That's a learning experience.
You just go into automated mode, because I think I have maybe did that to fill in some time while a band was getting set up or something, and I noticed that I can do the words, but I just go too fast. I just rattle through it, and
when I look back at like old videos of when I just started performing, and that was like, they were just, I wasn't stopping, I wasn't pausing for the crowd, because you're trying to remember them, you don't want to forget, you've got loads of things going on in your mind, and you're just like, do your poem and get it done.
Yeah.
But then when you watch those videos back, and then as you start getting more comfortable, like on the mic and in front of people, like you relax into it, and it becomes a bit more of a performance, I suppose, as just just spouting out words.
Recital.
You
A
recital,
recital on speed. A methamphetamine recital, which is where it can turn into. So what if you were to go back to what you're saying, you watch yourself, your younger self doing the poems, what advice would you give to both of you? What advice would you give to your younger self? So that maybe someone else is watching the shows, maybe starting their journey, or maybe they're starting to write poems and stuff like that. They're maybe at the beginning of their journey. What advice would you give to your younger self for writing and performing?
I think, just take your time when you're on stage. But again, it's just all that, the adrenaline that's running through your body, your dry mouth. You have to actually just go up and experience it, and I think learn from it yourself. I don't think anybody can tell you this is what you have to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's something. Even now,
just do it. Just go and do it.
Yeah. That's what we say. When people come to Partners on Rhyme, and they're nervous about getting up, we just are just get up and just do it.
You've got to support everyone in the room.
They're going to be so kind, and nobody's going to be booing you or any of that sort of stuff. Just get up and just say your stuff, and that is just taking that first step. Is just doing it.
But even sometimes now I still get certain place times. I'm totally confident as anything right before you go up, and then just a few minutes before you go up, your heart rate just starts increasing. You're like, fucking hell, I feel like this again. But as soon as you go up, now it disappears for me. It's just initially before I go up. Sometimes it just happens, but then as soon as you go up and start the first word, it's just that nervousness goes. But
it was because when we were rehearsing down at the studios, Mark, I was we've just done basically an hour of doing poems, and I've barely even needed a drink of water. And we went to Cafe Bow Bow. There was a poetry afternoon on, and we were on the open mic. And I literally had 3 poems to do. And by the second poem, I couldn't even move my tongue in my mouth. It was that dry. And I had no water with me, and I had to just go for my third poem, and I was struggling to even speak because just the nerves are just drained. I was I wonder if you can get something that you can put in your mouth before a performance to produce loads of saliva.
Beer, water.
Nah. I think beer would probably dry it out even more.
But I used to when I first started performing, right?
I like a beer.
When I first started performing, I used to down fucking whiskies and shit and drum. Not loads, but 2 or 3, 4.
I wouldn't do that.
Just for Dutch courage, but not too much. Always drunk, just so it was more than just a feel. I need something to do this. Every time I need 2 pints or 3 pints before I could perform. But it was just a matter. Then I thought, no, I didn't. I'm actually better without this because you get the pure dry mouth off the beer. You get that anyway, but it's worse with fucking alcohol. So I just felt now I try and make. Now I just like to not. Occasionally have a pint or 2, but usually I just like to perform sober in a way, totally. And
the first time I met Mark, he bought a bottle of Buckfast to the gig, and then our last
Richardson. By the way, this is Mark Richardson, not me.
Mark Richardson. Brought a bottle of Buckfast, and then our last, not the last one, the one before that. The 2 of us are sitting drinking green tea.
What the fuck's happened?
What's happened to us?
Couple of fucking fannies drinking green tea, man. That's good. That's for the green tea. It's really it's good for your it hydrates you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good for the vocal cords. Opens them up.
So green tea all the way.
Green tea all the way.
Well, I was sharing some tips with our keyboard player, Mima Merrill's lost her voice, so shouts to Mima. But the magic water, because obviously I lost my voice. I had a throat operation and everything. I couldn't talk for a month. And the magic water is what you want is boiling hot water. I'm actually having a
boiling hot water. I'm not drinking boiled water.
I wear it cooled in, but boil the water, put some honey in it, a slice of lemon, some fresh ginger, a cinnamon stick or 2, and I think that's it.
Quite a lot.
Magic water. That's why I call it magic water, because I can't be bothered saying it. But gargling salt is good.
Is that what you drink before a gig?
Well, no, not obviously not always, of course, because Did
you not have problems with doing so many gigs? You had your vocal cords
It was fucked, and it happened so gradual that everyone just, because I had a deep voice, nobody sort of said, "Here, man, you should maybe go to the hospital about that." But I did. I went. I was turned. It was a vocal polyp, but it just got worse and worse and worse. And then one day, I knew it was bad because somebody said "good night" last night, and I think it was audio soup, and I hadn't done anything the night before apart from set up the stage. So I was like, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking or anything. So it was kind of a running joke on by the Sunday of the festival. I would always lose my voice, and it was like, oh, I had a good weekend, but then I realised.
I've been at festivals when you're that like that. I've seen you.
Yeah, but yeah, it turned out it was a medical thing. It was a vocal polyp, and then I had to get it removed. But yeah, the magic water saved. Like, if you're ever in that situation where you lose your voice, it would make my voice 30%, 40% better.
Really?
If you've one or two. After that, it starts drying your throat, but one or two of them. But obviously, what you should actually do is rest and not go on tour. But I was just doing the tour. I was like going down to London and just drinking magic water, and then so I wouldn't recommend that. You should rest your voice, but if you have to do the gig and there's no way around it, then the cinnamon sticks, the honey, the lemon, and the fresh ginger. But obviously, I'm not famous enough that there's people backstage that are going to fetch me some fresh ginger.
Unfortunately, no. But I know just to get me that.
Nah, you'll be getting it for me.
Yeah. One beer before I like one beer before I go on stage and one beer on stage.
But I always like to have water on stage, like bring a bottle or a glass of water. And, like in between poems, I always like to have a sip in between poems.
I need to. I've definitely I have 2 bottles of water now because hydrate and have beer. But I did do a couple of gigs sober this year where I just had the non-alcoholic beer, but I still had the non-alcoholic beer and the water on stage because I'm just used to the taste, I suppose, of beer. But yeah. So I've got a couple of comments in before we wrap up. Is Mark Thomas still doing stuff in Dundee?
Mark Thompson, Mark Thompson. He performed at Blether.
It was Mark Thompson, sorry.
Thompson, yeah, I know who. Yeah, I've spoke to Jim Monaghan about Mark before. He performed at my gig at Fraser's Wish. Mind the guy with the flat card on.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He's brilliant.
He was supposed to come to Perth as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he never came. But I seen him at a thing. I seen him at Stephen Magner's gig in Forfar. He lives outside of Dundee now. I think he lives in Kirriemuir, but he comes to Dundee now and again, but he doesn't really. I've not seen him do much in Dundee, apart from last year at Blether he performed there. But he does sings in Kirriemuir and more in Angus, I think, that way, sort of. But I mean,
is Kirriemuir near Montrose?
Yeah, well, not really, but not too far. But Mark Thompson, he's established. He does stuff like workshops in the jail and that. And I think he makes a living out being a potter. He did. I'm not sure if he still does, but he's like, that was his job. He was that. So he's one of these lucky ones that managed to make a living out. I think he used to be a postie back in the day, but then he's ages with Gary Robertson. So him and Gary Robertson used to do stuff together. But they were like Gary Robertson. They had like a tag team. It was like kind of like me and Rana. It was called Tribal Tongues. It was called but I don't know. But Mark, he's still active, but not as much in Dundee that I've seen him perform. But
how's Gary doing? Because he's.
I don't really speak to Gary that much. Yeah, just as something. I don't know. He's a bit funny with me. I think he thought I was stepping on his toes, Ken. But I'm not going to that anyway, but what
about battle rap? What about a battle rap to sort it out, or about flighting?
I wouldn't even met it's just sort of like I wouldn't like to speak about it really.
Let's no stir the pot. That guy that guy climbs mountains with a hangover. Won the SAS. Anyway, On the subject of battle rap, would you just battle each other?
I'm not in a battle rap,
but we've done slams, haven't we? We've done poetry slams.
But I mean, actually slagging each other, but for obviously not a serious slagging. But could you both take a slag, and do you think could you just go?
I don't know.
We wrote a poem about each other, didn't we?
But it puts me off at stride. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that really. I just like them. I've never thought about doing that. People have asked me to do that before, but it's not for me. I think I'd get
I wouldn't like to do that.
It's not that we're thinking stuff. We're thinking, what is that? What the fucking Ken? Because I don't know. Maybe I've got a sensitive side being a poet, Ken. That might cut deep, and I don't know. Yeah, but I've never. No, I don't think I've never thought about doing that, or like aspire to do that. Eh?
Nah.
Fine.
We done a poem about each other, but it wasn't anything mean. There was no. It was all
Yeah,
love.
that was just funny
It was
ones.
all love.
But like that.
Yeah,
But I know like Kamehameha, he does all that, but I couldn't see myself doing that. No, I'd like to take it.
Cammy's probably one of the best battle rappers in Scotland,
Yeah.
man. He's incredible. And it's quite hard to be beat because he finds all the slaggings he gets funny. I mean, I don't know if he does actually deep down, but he gives the impression that he doesn't give a fuck and he finds it funny. And they're the hardest people to battle. I forgot, we're going to get a poem. Do you want to give us a poem before we go? Because that's Epi's turned up late. Epi Mew has turned up late, and so can we do a poem? Scott Master says, I'll catch you tomorrow, get your autographs. Mel wants me to shout out the Panopticon tomorrow.
I think I've met him.
Sorry, Suitmaster. I said Scott Master, it's Suitmaster. Catch you tomorrow, I'll get your autographs. Shelto Mel has a gig tomorrow, a stand-up comedy gig from Shelto Mel.
Yes,
with
Mel.
Gia Boyd, so that'll be good at the Panopticon, which it was just where Mark played at the Scottish finals. And the only thing I know of Curry Muir is tasty as fuck gingerbread.
I don't know, but hang me, the guy that wrote Peter Pan's for fucking Curry Muir. There's a statue of Peter Pan. What's he? I can't even mind his name. It just went in my head. But that's what it's.
Can we get a poem? Can we get a poem?
Yeah.
Get a poem to wrap up. Do I do a poem each?
Yeah.
Right.
Jim can judge it. Jim, if you're watching, you can give them points.
It's fucking.
No, it's non-competitive poetry. But he's up for a poem each. So basically, this is to remind everyone that the gig is tomorrow night and it's part of the Dundee Fringe. If you're listening to this in the audio podcast, then it's probably Saturday. So this happened yesterday and you missed it. What were you doing? What were you thinking? But you can catch them again on November the 28th. And we're just going to, for maybe people that are new to the poetry scene, let's we're going. It looks like Mark's ready.
Yeah,
Mark's getting psyched up. He's got his water.
I don't like sitting down. I like the fucking because I'm quite active. I'm quite fucking
no, I like it when you stand up. I know what it means, you mean business.
Yeah. Okay, right, sorry, I just thought. Do you mind if I go first? No, right. Yeah. I'm going to give you a poem about bike, and I just want to disclaim it.
Beauty.
Look, I'm a cyclist. There's my bike, right? So, but I'm going to do a poem about cyclists. This is inspired by a cyclist, right? Who was on a shared footpath and cycle path. And he just about run loads of people over. He's clad in lycra head to toe, about 10 other people, a proper cycle path. And they done a survey with drivers. I didn't drive with drivers about how they hate cyclists. So this poem is just put together. It's called. Originally, I was going to call it All Cyclists Are Cunts, but I thought that's a bit harsh, so I've called it On Your Bike. Anyway. Forget your highway code. We are lords upon these roads. Two abreast we travel, blocking Arctic loads. Doesn't use a cycle path because he's a fucking psychopath. Behind him is a tailback for 1.5 miles. Only these professional types think they have the right to block the main road when there's a cycle lane in sight. Is he such a lycra prick? Cause he's got a micro dick. Cunt goes his way to get an Aberdeen's wick. I didn't even drive, but just to see these types thrive. Never on their own, hunting parks of 45, 17 abreast. Mate, you've even sat a test. On the Kearney Road, you're nothing but a pest. You see them in Milan. I've saw them on the Autobahn. Spain, Belgium, Greece and the Isle of fucking Man. You are ken the sorts that pull on the lycra shorts. A weekend with the chaps. Exclusive ski resorts. I'm going to take a stance. Blockade the Tour de France. Ban cyclists for every road. Give the Morris a chance. Give the working class a snub in the cosy Highland pub. Cut their fucking teeth down the Bulletin Club. Now, then I get us wrong, because I've got a mountain bike and I'll ride it on the road any time I like. But the difference between you and me is obvious to see, because I'm a some cunt. You're a cunt times 3. If I'm on the shared path, I'll let pedestrians pass. But when it comes to you, mate, you just knock them on their arse. Bairns and prams, mums and great-grands, nobody is safe for a lycra-clad gang. Smarmy and smug, this upper-class fug, a condescending look etched upon his mug. Pure dead rude, with a bad attitude, this eco-friendly travel does more harm than good. They main cause a road rage, and I'll bet my fucking wage that the number one culprit, well, he's a bloke of middle age, meets with a club, 9 o'clock at the the hub. By 10:15, he's left a trail of blood. 3 dogs dead. Split a baby's head. Knocked an old man right off a cliff edge. With an arrogant sneer, he'll no steer clear. All on his bike to install sheer fear. To terrorise the masses. Everyone he passes. Pair of like red briefs in. Wrap around glasses. Like a pirate in Venice. You're nothing but a menace. Causing pure havoc on the way to play tennis. With a wheel and a spoke. Running our folk. Memories of sheer terror and mind you evoke. A stinger should be deployed to send you to the void. Fuck all to do with me though, mate. As for all these people, you've annoyed. Thank you.
Yes, amazing. Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant, Mark.
Thank you.
Well done.
Smashed.
Love that poem.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my latest ones that I'm really love performing now. So it's a new one for the next wee while. So it's all good. But yeah, thank you. So next up, Rana.
So this poem is at Mark McGee's request. The period poem. It's not actually about the period. It's the week before the period. But yeah, so it's called week 3. Dinna be fucking with me if I'm on week 3. Do you hear me? You better not come near me, 'cause I will make you teary. I'm so snappy, I'll snap you. So crabby, I'll crack you, smack you, pull out a knife and fucking hack you, attack you. I can't help it. This chemical imbalance, have you ever felt it? And trust us females to be the ones that were dealt it. Aye, and look at your face. It looks melted. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm not mean. Nah, that's not me. That can you please see that? I'm welling up. The cheeks are swelling. That I can't hold it back. Fuck. I'm greeting for no reason while I'm in season close to committing a treason. The tears are streaming with no fucking meaning, needing some semen with some screaming while I'm wheeling and dealing with my feelings, needing healing. I'm heeding. Whew. What a relief, this release. I'm glad I didn't breach the peace and nobody phoned the police, but if somebody doesn't get me some fucking chocolate, they're going to end up deceased. Thank you.
Amazing. I'll get you back on the screen here. So it's two. There's an example. Two brilliant. Well done,
right, Jim. Boys. What's the scores on the doors?
Is there any? It's Jim. It's non-competitive.
Mel,
no, it's non-competitive.
Shelto Mel, what's the scores on the doors?
Shelto Mel tells the scores on the doors because she's saying classic Rana. Hayden says yo so real. Epi says I'm saying now, and on you go Rana says Joe Seal. Nice see the other side, and 10s all round says Mel. So it's a draw. These are both winners. And on to your poem, Mark, Epi like that said, I'm a cyclist, but old school etiquette. But yeah, fuck those guys. And the bastards won't dip their lights. So it's cycling. I mean, I'm a cyclist as well. But
me too, yeah. Like
not anymore, obviously. I can't robo croc.
Yeah, you better not go on the bike, mate.
I'm also barred for driving for 6 to 8 weeks, but that's fine because I don't have a motor, and I can't drive. Well, I've not got a license, so
you get a mobility scooter.
Does that mean that I just can 6 to 8 weeks? He said so. Like, does that mean in 2 weeks' time I could just get in a motor? The doctor said it's fine.
But you drive? I don't think you drove.
I don't. Well, I mean, I have
what
driven.
Jim say there? I've seen something, Jim.
I'm not licensed, but you know, I'm from Ayrshire, so I have had a shot. I used to drive. I've driven in industrial estates. I used to have a moped when I lived in Cyprus in Corfu. I loved that. But yeah, I had a shot at a motorbike once, but it felt too fast. It felt like, how can anyone think
I mean, you told
fast?
Me the story. You told us a funny story. You got lost in Corfu. That was a brilliant story, mate. Was it Cyprus?
Cyprus, aye. Day one of Cyprus, aye. I went away. I was going to give myself. I wouldn't say what I just left school and went to Cyprus, and then day one, we went out with a couple of people, a couple of Scottish people, a couple of English people. I don't even know their names. I still don't know their names. I can't remember who they are. They didn't know me. I didn't know them, and then I just went. away for a walk to try and find a bit for a joint somewhere, and then ended up talking to two Welsh lassies. Woke up next to a swimming pool, and they were like, "We're off now," because they were getting a bus back to Wales, or a bus back to the plane to go to Wales. And I was just walking about going, I don't know the name of the company I work for, the hotel. I've never been there before.
Social media in them days, Know what I mean?
There was no GPS, there was no social media. I'd literally had no idea what I was doing, so I just walked about. No sun cream. I drank some tap water. That didn't end well. So it was a disaster. And then eventually they drove after about a day. I had £1 on me. There was a Greek couple kept on feeding me toasties. So shouts to the Greek Taverna. I can remember the name of that place. And then I just wandered around aimlessly. The police station couldn't help. They said, your friends will come and help you. And I won't tell my friends. They don't even know my name. They don't even remember that they met me. And then eventually they found me. They drove by me on a motorbike and picked me up. And then the following day, guess what that day was? That's why I told the story, because you just reminded me. The next day, day 2 or day 3, 9/11. I was in the pub myself. I was in the pub myself watching it, getting it translated from Greek people. I was going, "What is going on? Is this a film? What's going on?" So I've maybe aged my. People always want to know my age, but maybe you could do some math there. Figure it out.
Okay. I bet later, But I can't remember when you told me that story. It was recently. Maybe it was on a podcast. I don't know. Can't remember, but it was something. Because I was talking about, I think, when I got lost in Thailand and Cambodia, I didn't get lost. I lost fucking. I had no money, but that's another story for another time anyway. But
you had a lot of adventures, getting bitten by things and
snakes and shit. But
Jim,
I've got a problem with that.
Some cunt turned up at my door, only had the last line of Rana's poem and missed marks. So
because always an excuse, Jim.
You could watch it back. You could watch it back.
Watch it back. That's the beauty of it. You call that radio. You can watch everything back. If you're on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. If you're listening to the audio podcast on Apple and Spotify, go back and listen to another episode. I think the previous episode should be on me talking to Wu-Tang legend Bronze Nazareth and beatmaker extraordinaire Apollo Brown.
That's nice. Wu-Tang, brilliant. You had a few big names on here, Well, apart from me and Rana, can.
You're bigger.
But no, you had Sleaford Mods on, did you, Jason? Did you?
Yeah, we had Jason on. I don't know if he still likes me, but he's been on the show. We've had that low. I've just not been able to do these live streams because I was living in a house with no internet. Well, I had internet, but not good enough to live stream. But I'm having quite a transient summer. I'm in the middle of moving house, so I'm in looking for if anyone's renting a flat, give me a shout because I'm moving somewhere again in October. But I just thought I would do as many shows as I could this week while I've got decent internet. So tomorrow, in fact, on that note, tomorrow, I'm doing another live stream tomorrow. We'll get Colin Hunter, the King of the Rats, is the name of his new album. And we're doing it at 4:00 because I think we're all going to go to McCool's to watch Gordy Duncan drumming again with Stephen Young's band with support from the Folk Drama, who are our pals. They're brilliant as well. So get to McCool's tomorrow night. I think it's about 7 or 8. So we need to give Colin enough time to travel from the Shire, the Ayrshire Shire. And we're going to talk about his new album, The King of the Rats, 4:00 tomorrow, live right here. And one last shout out. We'll go through each of yous. We've got the Dundee Fringe tomorrow. Anything else to plug, Mark? This is your last chance to round it up.
No, after that, we're having a wee rest after that. I've nothing until November sometime. That'll be about it. But Partners in Rhyme is 28th of November, Rana? 28th of November, Friday 28th of November. But I've got none of my own gigs coming up till then. So just I'm going to be on holiday soon, so I'll not be in the scene for a few weeks. So but that's all I've got to plug.
Cool. Well, be careful on holiday. Don't get lost. Don't get bit by a snake or anything.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yes.
But Rana, what have you got to plug?
So I've got a couple of singles coming out. One with Jam, Harvey. We've just finished doing one, so that's going to be coming out soon. And I've just finished doing an EP with Andy Mack, so that will be coming out soon as well. So apart from tomorrow, Dundee Fringe, 8:20, and then Partners in Rhyme at Cafe Bow Bow on the 28th of November, and we will be in Montrose the 12th of December as well. So yeah, a few things coming up. But follow our page, Partners in Rhyme on Instagram, Rana Marathon spoken word artist on Facebook, Mark Richardson on Facebook, and the poet Mark Richardson on Instagram. So yeah, you'll be able to follow all our shows and performances if you follow us. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Mark Richardson.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Rana Marathon.
Always a pleasure,
Thank you to everyone who's tuning in. And we will
Mark,
be back
just want to
here.
tell everyone that's listening, Mark McGee's a legend. He supports everyone. He's promoted people for like years and years. Like, he does so much for everyone. So big up to Mark.
Yeah,
Cheers,
appreciate you, Mark.
Thank you
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you. I'll
Right,
hopefully catch you in Perth. Thank you,
Right.
Rana. Thank you, Mark. And Shelter Wells asking, why does he maybe still not like you? Long story. It's about the Palestine flag, though. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow on You Call That Radio. If you want to support the show, then now's a good time to do so. Patreon.com/You Call That Radio. Join the Mince and Tatties crew. We're giving away free tickets to Equinox Festival this week and much more. Or you can become a member on YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thank you to Mark Richardson, Rana Marathon. Give them a follow. And I'll see you soon. Bye.